IT genius, not to mention an absolute goddess. Any man who says otherwise is either dead, gay, or lying.
She'd eat you alive.
So, all in all, the transplant was a complete success. I just thought you might like to let the delegation know we've put all last week's dramas behind us.
I'll be sure to pass that on. Was that all, Connie?
Actually, no. I believe the deadline for the Director of Surgery application was, well, half an hour ago.
You want to know who your competition is?
Well, I'd like to know if I have any.
Yeah, I received applications from Mr. Griffin, Mr. Spence, Mr. Cullen, and Dr. Green.
Green? Okay, well, I suppose that answers my question.
Good.
Good.
Oh, Connie, I thought you should know. John and I have decided to give it another go. I wanted you to hear it from me.
Thanks. The percutaneous valve would be manufactured in theatre with the patient's live tissue.
This substantially reduces the risk of infection.
And of course, it keeps costs to a minimum. Now, the financial implications don't end there. Because this procedure leads to shorter recovery times, that means much less money spent on aftercare.
Yes, but presumably this valve will last, what, 10, 15 years at the most?
Well,
Actually,
preliminary tests we've done lead us to believe it could last a lifetime. Now, I know there are people out there who would say this procedure is too experimental, but let me remind you that the life-saving techniques that we surgeons now use day after day started out as experimental. And I believe that once other surgeons know about this procedure, they'll be fighting each other to use it.
thank you very much, Mrs. Beecham. And now, if we have time, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the
I'm
patient.
sorry, I don't think we have. Should we get on with the questions, anyone? Mrs. Grayson?
Doesn't seem entirely clear to me who will be performing the procedure.
Well, obviously, Mr. Hope and I are resident consultants on Darwin. And Dr. Sodhi would be involved.
I see. Just wanted you to know the board were very impressed with your pitch this afternoon.
Really? Well, I'm delighted to hear it.
We were wondering if you could write up your proposal so we could get things moving as quickly as possible.
I'll have it on your desk by 6.
To be honest, I wasn't sure whether to ask you or Mr. Hope. Prior to the meeting, I'd been under the impression that Mr. Hope and Dr. Sodhi had been developing the procedure.
Well, obviously, it's a collaboration.
Obviously. Anyway, I am sure the board will bear your performance today in mind when considering your Director of Surgery application.